We've come to the north of England to Skelmersdale, which is about 20 miles from Liverpool, to meet up with Fairbanks, one of the leading providers of wet stock management services, and we're meeting up with Bob Conlin and Steve Jones, who are joint managing directors. This is Bob Conlin, Joint Managing Director of Fairbanks. Bob, I learned that you have founded Fairbanks 17 years ago together with Steve Jones. How did you get started and how has the company developed since then?
Sandra, I'm going to take you back to 1997. And in the UK, there was no such thing as centralised wet stock monitoring. All of the major oil companies, the independent retailers kept essentially paper-based records with no statistical analysis. And I think we saw the opportunity to offer a service to the industry, principally in the UK, to provide smart, intelligent systems whereby through the use of analysis of data, we could detect leakage very, very quickly, far quicker than any system that was available at the time. So that's where we started. We started with, as you say, Steve and I, two of us, an idea and some programming skills. And today we employ 150 staff alone in the UK. We perform all of our IT development and support ourselves. All of our wet stock analysts, about 80 of them are wet stock analysts. We've all developed and trained and quality checked ourselves through that. And I think we've pioneered wet stock management as an absolutely necessary requirement in the UK, whereby now over 50% of stations are using some form of SIR system. The sites that are more at risk in terms of fire and explosion and environmental risk use our real-time service. So when we look at how we've evolved in all of that time, and what we now provide is our leading-edge real-time solution. And you can read lots about that on our website, but essentially it means that not only are we identifying a problem, but with the skills of our system and our intelligent analysts, we're able to pinpoint the source of the loss. So investigations for us can now, on a good day, can take hours instead of weeks and weeks. That means we can protect all companies and retailers from the damage of environmental pollution and save them a great deal of money because, as we know, the cost of fuel is going up and up. So we believe we provide a unique service, and we believe that we've transformed the UK over these 16 years into the country that is leading the way in terms of environmental protection through the systems that we use. And as we start to spread the word internationally, many countries still are where the UK was all that time ago, and we see it's our responsibility to raise awareness and educate all companies and all of those other markets that the service we provide is available to anybody, and it's cost effective, and it's something that any responsible petrol station owner should address and adopt.
So what are your primary customers then?
Well, we have nearly 45% of the service stations in the UK, and that ranges from the household names, the major oil companies and the supermarkets, right down to individual single operator sites that don't have the support of oil companies behind them to look after their wet stock. So each of them is equally important as our customers. So that's the UK. Today we provide our service to nearly 4,000 stations in the UK. There's another 5,500 to 6,000 stations globally. So we're now a truly global brand. Particularly, and we're already proud of that, is that we secured the global contract for Shell. And that adds another 3,500 stations to our portfolio and in 27 countries. So we're now having to adapt and adopt our service to cope with trading conditions in petrol stations anywhere in the world.
And Bob, can you elaborate a little bit more about how you deliver the services?
Well, Sandra, I'm going to leave Steve. I believe he's going to give you a tour of the offices. And in showing you around the various teams, he'll be able to explain what their various contributions are towards delivering our service.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Okay, you're very welcome.
I'm now talking to Steve Jones, who's Joint Managing Director of Fairbanks. Steve, how do you ensure that Fairbanks services always stay at the forefront of our industry?
Within Fairbanks, we have a number of ideas which we try and prototype. And we have a quality development department within the business, which is not just quality control, but it's actively developing our quality systems to make sure that new innovations get prototyped, get developed, and then get tested and rolled out before we go into the big wide world with it.
And what are the products and services you're developing at the moment?
At the moment, we're undertaking a KTP, which is a knowledge transfer partnership with one of the local universities to improve the mathematical models that we have within our systems, improve the graphical user interface that our data analysts use, to basically improve the effectiveness of our workforce and the service that we give to our customers.
So, and how is it actually like working with a university then?
Universities work to a different time frame from commercial organisations, and so we've got to learn patience. We work at their pace, but it's worthwhile because they bring an awful lot to the party that as a commercial organisation we wouldn't necessarily have the time or resources to develop. So it really is very much a partnership.
One general question, what are your future plans?
Well, apart from world domination, of course, we look at what Fairbanks does in the UK, and currently we have a significant market share within the UK, but we're now operating in 30 plus countries across the globe, from as far afield as Australia, Japan, through Asia, Thailand, Malaysia.
I saw the different flags on your wall.
Yes, I'll take you through the different flags presently. So we believe that what the UK has done in the past 10 or 15 years, the rest of mainland Europe and now Asia is suddenly waking up to the idea that wet stock control and the power of data is going to be something which will help them improve their business control.
So Steve, while we're here, how far away is your farthest client then?
Well, fortunately, we've got a world map here, so I'll be able to point out that we're in Skelmersdale, the centre of the known wet stock universe, and we have clients across mainland Europe, into the Ukraine, India, Asia, and as far afield as Australia. Well, there's about 1,000 and odd sites using the Fairbanks system in Australia. Going in the opposite direction, we're just heading into South America, into Argentina. So there's quite a wide spread across the globe. As you may be aware, my background is IT systems design and development. All of the software that we use within Fairbanks is homegrown and is developed by our IT development team here.
It was the iBank that got the APA Innovation Award in 2007, wasn't it? So can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Yeah, sure. This is the world-famous iBank. There are many thousands of these on petrol stations dotted around the globe. They connect to the pump controller and to the tank gauge on site and forward back to Fairbanks here for analysis, details about every customer sales transaction that takes place. It allows us to give world-class leak detection system and wet stock monitoring.
What are the events you're taking part in 2013? I heard you were speaking at ERPEC, so what is the topic of your conference speech then?
Well, the conference speech is going to be what I've just talked about in terms of using data to improve control of the business. We use wet stock data, and initially we thought about Fairbanks being for leak detection. But there's so much more that you can do with the data now in terms of making your business more effective and more efficient. So yes, I will be at ERPEC, and we'll also be doing a Petra Forum, we'll be doing the Forecourt Expo, we'll be at the NEC, the International Forecourt Show, and then there's road shows up and down the country that we'll be attending. And of course then there's the APA conference at the back end of the year that we'll be there, as always.
I'll see you at ERPEC then. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, thanks very much.